So, today's story is about a series of murders that happened back in 2004. It all started with a young adult who was reported missing by his family after he did not come back to the house for a few days. Unfortunately, the police were not able to locate where he is because they did not have any kind of useful information that would help them with the search. The only information they had that was provided by the family is that his last contact was with a random lady who knocked on their door in a Saturday morning, which was the day of his disappearance. The family did not think much of the lady. They thought, oh, maybe it's his coworker, his friend, whatever. Little did they know that that was the last day they will see their son alive. Around a week later, some neighbors in a very far neighborhood reported to the police that a really bad smell is coming from an abandoned house nearby. And it does not smell like, a dead animal or something like that. It smells like a dead human being. The police rushed to the house, and indeed, the young adult was right there, dead, with a clean cut in his throat. And the sentence was written in the wall behind him, which said 1 out of 5. And it was written with his own blood. Now, the police were shocked, but the problem is they were not able to locate or identify who the killer may be, because it's an abandoned house. There's no witnesses, there's no cameras, there's no fingerprints in the scene. So yeah, they have absolutely nothing to work with. Whoever killed the first guy stayed true to their words, because few days later, the police got another call about another guy who was found dead. This time, not in an abandoned house, but in a public cafe. Yes, a public cafe. They rushed to the cafe, and indeed, the guy was just laying there, completely dead. The problem is, this cafe was located in a shady / poor neighborhood. It's like a ghetto hood, if that makes sense. So, no cameras are around. Even the cafe is in a really bad shape. And when they asked the people in the cafe, they said no fight happened, no suspicious guy came to the cafe. Like, this guy was just enjoying his tea, and all of a sudden he dropped on the ground begging for his life. Like, it was out of nowhere. So the police here, they realize that they are dealing with a professional serial killer. And by the way, when they did their investigation and they, obviously searched the cafe, you know what they found in the bathroom of the cafe? The killer wrote in the mirror of the bathroom 2 out of 5. This time, it was not written with the victim's blood, obviously. It was written with red lipstick. So, the whole city was completely terrorized. This professional serial killer just unalived 2 people out of nowhere. The police have no idea who did it. They don't know where to start, and people are just wondering who will be the next 3 people. few days later, yeah, right, you guessed it right, the police got another call about another guy who was found dead in his car. He found dead with a clean cut to his throat again, and the killer wrote 3 out of 5 on his car. Again, no fingerprints, no witnesses, because this happened very late at night in a really empty street, a dead-end street. And that's not the last guy who will be found dead in their car, because few days later the police will get another call about another guy who was found dead in their car. This time though, the car was set on fire, but the killer did leave a message as usual saying 4 out of 5. But again, no fingerprints, no witnesses, no nothing. This killer, they know what they're doing. They select their victims carefully, and yeah, they're just a professional, it looks like. At this point, the city was completely terrorized and everyone was scared. Everyone thought they would be the last person. Who's the 5th person? And yeah, it was a mess. After further investigation though, the police found out that the 4 victims are related to each other. Not blood related, but they're friends. So they started bringing in people for questioning. Everyone related to the victims, they brought them for questioning. And one of the people they brought told them one of the most terrifying stories. This guy was supposed to be the 5th guy. And basically what happened and why this is happening, a month ago, this guy and his friends, they like to drink, they like to party, they like to get wasted and do crazy shit. And they were driving in their car looking for hookers. And yeah, random lady was passing by. They stopped the car and asked her for the price. She said she was not a hooker, but they really liked her and they forced her into the car. They beat her up and told her to stay quiet. They took her to an abandoned house. Yeah, the abandoned house where the first guy was found dead. And they ganged the R word. I don't want to say it because the video will get flagged, but they ganged her in the house, in the abandoned house. For 3 days. They ganged her for 3 days. They gave her no food, no water. Basically, they're just taking turns on her, violating her. And he was skeptical that the person responsible of these deaths is the lady. I don't know, she's probably working with someone to get her revenge or something, but he has a feeling that the person responsible for these deaths is the lady, and he was scared for his life, and they told the police to arrest him because he would rather be in jail than be dead. So the police few days later will receive a letter, and guess from who? It was from the lady. It was a long letter where she explained what happened in details. Basically, what the guy said is true, and she specified in the letter that she came to the police and told them what happened, and the police, they thought she was just playing because, you know, that neighborhood, it's it's known for hookers, and they get a lot of cases about hookers who, they get in a dispute with one of their clients, a random dispute, a silly dispute, and they just come to the police and make up a story, and just waste the police time just because they got into a dispute with a random client. They did not pay him enough. They did not pay them enough, or whatever. And it was like a common thing they receive, so they did not really pay it much attention. So the police thought that the lady was lying. She was just a random hooker, just making up shit, basically. Just like most of the hookers they get on a daily basis, making up stories. And they did not believe her, which was a horrible fucking mistake. So yeah. Apologies, I was interrupted there. My brother gave me ice cream. One second. It's a strawberry ice cream, by the way. Anyways, so you may be wondering, how this lady managed to kill these guys in such a professional, discreet manner. Well, after the police did not believe her, she had to take things into, she had to take matters into her own hands. When the guys forced her into the car and took her to the abandoned house, they did not blindfold her. They were blinded by lust, and they did not blindfold her. And after she begged them for mercy and they did not care, she knew that there's no coming back from this. So best thing I can do is just try to memorize where we're going. Turn right, turn left, like try to memorize all of that. So she took a taxi and she described the location to the taxi guy, and he indeed knew the location of the abandoned house and took her there. So she went there and she waited and waited and waited and waited until one of the guys showed up to the house. She did not talk to him. She didn't say anything. When he was leaving, she followed him to the house. After she followed him to the house, she knocked on the door, and he was completely shocked that she was standing there in his house. She told him to be quiet, and she told him, I know everything about you now. I know where you live. I will go tell the police. I will go tell your family, neighbors. Everyone will know about what you did. What I want you to do now, if you want to avoid that, and I promise you if you do what I say, I will not go to the police and you will be fine, is let's go back to the abandoned house and let's just talk this out. I need some information from you. So he agreed and he took her back to the abandoned house. And after they went back to the house, she convinced him to tell her about the identity of the other guys, and she will not tell the police about him. She will tell the police about just the other guys. And this guy was 19 years old, 19, 20 years old. He was the youngest of the group and also the fucking dumbest, as you may imagine. I'm glad he's dead, I'm just saying. But yeah, she told him that if he tells her the truth, she will not bring it up to the police, and she will just tell the police about the other four guys, and she will not bring him up, and she will not tell his family about anything and all that stuff. So yeah, after he said what he said and he gave her all the information she needed, she slit his throat with a razor blade right here. Not a knife, a razor blade. Just like right here. I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier that this girl is a pharmacist, by the way, and she came to the capital city of looking for a job. But yeah, she's a pharmacist. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this piece of information is important for the next kill. So yeah, after she knew the location of all the other guys, the second guy, she was told that he goes to this cafe quite often. So she dressed up as a street vendor, and since she is a pharmacist, she has access to a lot of potent, effective drugs. And I don't know what drug she used, but basically she did something to the food, and yeah, that's how he dropped dead in the cafe. He just consumed one of the snacks that she sold him. She dressed up, as I said, as a street vendor. And makeup can make you look completely different, so you may be like, how did he not recognize her? Like, bro, come on. Makeup can make you look completely different, and if you wear different clothes with the right makeup and some shades, like, you will not get recognized. Anyways, she put some sort of drug in the food or the snack that she sold him, and that's how he died of food poisoning. And for the remaining two, she got their phone numbers from the guy who got killed, and she just acted like she was some sort of girl who was interested in them, and she got to know them through a friend, and she has a crush on them, and told them to meet up. And since these guys are fucking stupid and they're guided by their dicks, they agreed to meet up. And that's how she managed to meet up with them and kill them. She killed them both with a razor blade to their throat, and she obviously decided on the location of meeting up, which was an empty spot. And they were like, ooh, we're gonna, you know what I mean? So yeah. That's pretty much it. I'm tired. Hopefully I told this story well enough. I'm really bad at telling stories, and especially in a language that is not my native language. I kind of rushed the ending. Apologies there, but yeah. And by the way, she was not caught. After she sent the police the letters, she left the country, and she was nowhere found to this day. Nobody knows where she is. When she sent the letter to the police, she was already out of the country, and nobody knows where she is, or her name, or none of this stuff. So yeah, she was not caught. She did not get caught. Anyways, I'm not gonna say my opinion on this because I don't want YouTube to think I'm endorsing some type of behavior, but my opinion on this. I fucking hate R-words. So you got what you fucking deserve. Anyways, let me know your opinion on what happened, and let me know if you want to hear more stories. And that was it. I am sweating. I've redid this video a million times, So, yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.